Hi, my name is Tim Herring, and I have created what's called a, Belina Sound music streaming service. You basically can create the Pi into any computer speaker, but can become a Bluetooth compatible speaker. So first off, let's get started with the parts that you need. So of course, you'll need your Raspberry Pi. You need 3 or newer. 400 has a little other little devices that you might need for it, and of course the power cord for the Pi, uh, the SD card that has the Belina Sound image downloaded, and of course your speakers with the audio cord. All right, so let's get into that slideshow. So again, Bluetooth compatibility for any speaker when using Belina Sound OS. What is needed? You'll need that Pi Model 3 or later. Like I said, 400 has different parts that might be needed. That power cord, any non-Bluetooth compatible speaker or sound system, the audio cord, which of course is attached to those computer speakers, that micro SD card that has that image downloaded, and you'll need Belina Etcher and Belina OS Cloud, as well as your laptop. So first off, download Belina Etcher, which is on the left-hand side, that screenshot. It's really easy to flash an image onto any kind of SD card. And then, of course, you'll need to go into Belina Cloud and create an account for that, which shows my fleet when you create that image. So create a fleet using your Pi. You'll select create a fleet, and it'll ask you to type in the fleet, which is Belina-sound, and you'll choose the device type. It could be Raspberry Pi, preferably 64-bit OS so it can download correctly. And of course, Raspberry Pi 3 or newer. So Pi 4s work, Pi 400s work, things like that. So it will ask for your Wi-Fi compatibility. You'll select Wi-Fi and Ethernet when you create that fleet, not just Ethernet only, because there's an access problem where it connects weird and it just shuts on and off on that Bluetooth. But you'll change that SSID or network name to whatever Wi-Fi you're using, and of course that Wi-Fi password. And then once that fleet has been created, it will ask you to download an image. And since you already have Belina Etcher downloaded, you can just it'll open automatically with Belina Etcher with the image, and as long as you have your micro SD card plugged into your laptop or PC or whatever, it'll automatically flash it. And of course, you'll flash the image. Once it's completed, you can remove that SD card and plug it into power, wait for the device to link on your fleet in Belina Cloud. So it'll link, it'll show status at that bottom of the screenshot. It'll show that status online, and of course, it'll make a name. You can edit that. I had Proud Cucumber because I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, it'll say online. But first off, it will be updating, so it'll show status updating, and once that completes, it'll show online, and you should be able to access that said device, so that Raspberry Pi. And of course, you can pull up. Once it's online, you'll be able to pull up the logs like it shows in that bottom right-hand portion on that screenshot. It connects to different services. There's the big service list on that bottom left. You might be able to see that. It'll show Spotify, the host name, the multi-room client, the sound supervisor, AirPlay, whatever. It'll show all your music streaming services are running. And of course, once you see all the services running, you can find the Pi via Bluetooth device. So it should be named Belina OS, and then it should have some numbers and letters at the end of it. It depends on what kind of version you downloaded onto your image on your SD card. So once that process is finished, you can now use Apple AirPlay, you can use Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, the radio, whatever kind of downloaded music streaming service that you have on your phone, as long as you're connected to that Belina OS device, Bluetooth compatible, because of course this is image is what that's for. It creates that Bluetooth compatibility. So why is this important? With Belina Etcher, there are many other methods. You can create it for a game, you can create it for a Windows server, you can create it for MP3 player, you can create it for many things. With this one specifically, now you can just plug in the Raspberry Pi, plug it into any speaker that might not be Bluetooth compatible, and they will be Bluetooth compatible because it'll link to the Pi itself. And of course, huge sound systems like those old sound systems for you at home, they might not have Bluetooth compatibility. So now you can just grab an audio cord, plug in that Pi, and you should be able to connect really easily. It has all connections to any audio output as long as you have that audio cord. You can even use YouTube sometimes, or you can use Apple Podcasts, or you can use Spotify Podcasts, or you can use any other podcast service that's out there on the internet. You can even play the radio via Bluetooth connection as long as you have that app, because I know that most smartphones have it downloaded on their device. So possible fallbacks. Initially, I was making an MP3 player that has a visual light display, but once I tried to download that visual light display, it just crashed the whole system. So remember to make a backup. I'll say that in the next slide. I'll emphasize on that. But trying to make that MP3 player, writing the scripts and everything, that took a lot of time, and it was kind of frustrating to see it crash. So I had to find an alternative last minute. So I found that Belina sound when I was looking through, and of course I still tied it to music because that's a big thing for me. So like I said, I love music, everything music. I wish I could listen to it 24/7. So having that Raspberry Pi, I can plug it into any speaker, even if it doesn't have Bluetooth compatibility, because of course it creates that Bluetooth compatibility. And for future reference, remember to back up all data, test it on a virtual machine first, run it a few times. It might just be lucky the first time, so run it like 2 or 3 times, and then try it on that physical Raspberry Pi. And overall, Raspberry Pis can be pretty much anything. I know a lot of people are making like WAN LAN connections, they're making speed testers, things like that. But I hope to take this Pi and make possible like syslogs or software, like deprecated software that can help in that company, whichever company I'm using, and maybe even make a firewall scanner built in like SonicWall. So yeah, thank you for listening to my Pi Talk. I hope you all have a good day.